Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength. Not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart, and God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread, healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes You O Cube. What does O Cube stand for? One-on-one. It's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you joined me on this fine day. Y'all, it's Wednesday. Can you believe that? It's hump day. Half of the week is gone already. Yes, it is Wednesday, July the 20th in the year 2022. Next thing you know, we'll be singing I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. It is the year passing by before our eyes, and it's just gone, y'all. It's just gone. It's another glorious day. It's another hot one. You might as well get ready. It is heated already. I think at 4 o'clock this morning, I looked at my phone and the temperature said 91 degrees at 4 o'clock in the a.m. So needless to say, it's going to be another hot one. You best believe there is global warming in full effect up here in Texas. I should say down here in Texas. I tell you what, it's hot. It's hot. Now, listen, it's so good to see everybody that has joined us this morning. I appreciate you. All these beautiful people in the Lion's Den. I just don't know what to do with myself. Let's check out. And you know how we start. We always like to look at the beautiful people that come in bright and early, and they come in for the purpose of bringing love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness to the Lion's Den, and I appreciate them. I just want you to know I appreciate every last one of them. Now, I think I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that came in the Lion's Den in the VIP section this morning. So you know, only 3 of those are going to be able to sit down. The others are going to be standing there cheering them on and making sure there's plenty of all of the love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness in the Lion's Den. I want to appreciate Miss Fabulous. Yes, ma'am. Miss Fabulous, otherwise known as Mel Holiday. She came in and she's giving all the love and telling everybody hello this morning. Head usher reporting for duty. Then we had Den Darn. Come on in here, beautiful. Thank you, Den Darn, for coming in the VIP section to check on everybody. She comes in giving hugs. She comes in with royalty. She got queen crowns for everybody. She's got plenty of love and prayers, and she's anchored down and ready to go. Thank you, Den Darn. I appreciate you. Then, number 4 into the VIP section was none other than Sassy Cassie. Thank you so much, Sassy Cassie. Honey, I appreciate you for coming in the Lion's Den. All of that you bring with you. There she is, y'all. Isn't she beautiful? That's my girl right there. Thank you for coming in and bringing that love. I appreciate you. Now, the third person in the Lion's Den this morning was Two Tambourines, otherwise known as MCP 812. Come on, I appreciate you, sis. Come on in here. Two Tambourines, otherwise known as MCP 812, was number 3 in the Lion's Den this morning. We appreciate you so much for coming in, sis. We appreciate you. Now, the number 2 in the Lion's Den this morning was none other than Shelly Thunder. Shelly Thunder, congratulations and thank you for coming in, sis. You did that, number 2. Now you and MCP 812, otherwise known as Two Tams, both of y'all squeeze together over there on that love seat and sit there for the duration of the stream. I appreciate you and congratulations. But the winner of Grandpa Holmes' share is none other than Truck driver, you did that this morning. Congratulations. Come on over here, my brother. Come on over here. Come on, come on, come on. You did that, sir. You are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. Go ahead and choose your seat and sit down right there. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. That's my guy, y'all. That's my Mufasa. And that is the Lion King in the Lion's Den and the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. Now, I appreciate each and every last one of you. I really, really do. I tell you what, you guys are just the most beautiful, beautiful people that a person could ask for. Now, you know, I always like to stop right here and acknowledge those that labor amongst us. Yes, those that take care of the Lion's Den. None other than the prophetess Shelly Thunder. That's my girl, and y'all know how I say it. It's always evident when she's in the room, because up above my head I hear thunder in the air. There must be a Shelly Thunder somewhere. I appreciate you, sis. Let me get myself together here. Okay, there we go. Now, and then we are led by the leader of the pack, none other than, yes, there she is, the Rebel Ink. I appreciate her. We're going to go get us some anti-morning bangos here in just a minute. We're going to go get some anti-morning bangos and the cracks, because y'all know those videos will just take you on up out of here. If you're not following the Rebel Ink, she is a streamer. Quit your wicked ways and go out there and follow my girl. And of course, the Quiet Storm, Michelle Brownell. There she is. I appreciate these three ladies. They do a phenomenal job. And all that mod love to you. All of that mod love to these three beautiful ladies. Now, as we get ready to get started, you know how we do it. Let's go ahead. I do want to, yes, I definitely want to stop and comment on Dr. Dady Priest, who had a fabulous stream on yesterday. She is doing Engagement Matters, and she's been covering those. She had Chazzylicious is Cooking in her stream on yesterday. It was absolutely fantastic. She's covering mental health and that deals with Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Beautiful stream on yesterday. I will be in a stream, and it was awesome, Dr. Dady. Dr. Dady, it was just awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. If you're not following Dr. Dady Priest, that's my girl right there. Quit your wicked ways. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? Because Engagement Matters. She will bless your whole life. Now, on this Saturday, I will be with Twana's Twitch at 1 o'clock, I believe, Central Time. At 1 o'clock Central Time, I will be with her in Equality. Let me see if I can find that flyer. I appreciate what she's doing and what she's bringing to the table. That's the wrong one. That's not the one I want. There we go. I will be with her on this Saturday at 1 o'clock Central Time. And she's on a Pacific time zone. So there you see 11 a.m., but she is Pacific Standard Time. So I want you all to join us there. She's doing some phenomenal things in equality. And I'm going to be talking about religion and how religion has helped tremendously to perpetuate racism and division in the country. I will be very, it's going to be just like the Lion's Den. No cream, no sugar. We're going to take that coffee strong and black, because we're going to tell it like it tis. And we're going to uncover and speak on and talk about some of the things in our religious culture that helps to keep us, especially Black people, in bondage. And we're going to deal with a little bit of a historical aspect of how some of these things came about, and really even some of the bondage that we continue to do. I am mindful that Dr. Dady had in her stream where she was talking about the Black codes. And this has been a while back. It might have been during Black History Month. I don't remember. But she was identifying Black codes that are still in effect in the country right now today, and many of us still abide by them. One of those being the fact that they made Black ministers carry a license to preach. And we still see a lot of that still evident in our current times. And so many times we carry on traditions. We don't even know where they came from. We don't even know why we do what we do. And we do so much that just helps to perpetuate inequality in this country. So we're going to be just uncovering, talking about all of those different areas, fielding questions. If you inquiring minds want to know, you want to meet us on Saturday. And I'm going to tell it like it TIZ. It may make some people angry. However, I feel like people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So join us over there. And was it Juneteenth? Thank you, Kim Possible. I appreciate that. We're going to be talking about all of that. And again, if you don't know where you've come from, and if you don't know where things have originated from, you will carry on some of this foolishness yourself. And at the end of the day, it's nothing but bondage and slavery. Now, that being said, let me go ahead. I wanted to get stand by for station identification and get that in. Now, you know how we do. Get your coffee cups out, get your coffee cups out, get your coffee cups out. Because what I like to do at this point, as my mother said, when you come into a room, speak to somebody. So that's what we do over here. We get those coffee cups out, and I just like to come along, and I appreciate those that are not in my chat. Thank you for coming. Thank you for holding space. Thank you for just being here. For those that are in my chat, I want to say good morning to you. SK8843, I see you, love, and it's good to have you on this morning. Auntie Diddy is in the room, and she is a moderator for Uncle Diddy. And yes, Uncle Diddy is a moderator. Please go follow him. Auntie Diddy, I want to say good morning to you, and thank you for submitting for views. I appreciate you for putting some information in there. We're going to look at that today, the videos that you put in. Thank you so much. And I want to appreciate Truck Driver. That's my Mufasa. Come on in the room. I see you, sir. And you be safe out there on those roads. Stacy 546, I see you, dear. Come on in here. Dr. Daddy Priest, she's in the room, y'all. That's the high priestess, and I appreciate you for being here this morning. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking, and not your average guy. That's my guy, and he is here. We found out why he's not your average guy, because he's been taking the yellow pill. I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm checking it out, and fairly all day, my dearest friend is here. So glad to have you this morning. Come on in here. You know I love you. I love everybody that's in here. Oh, Rebel, thank you for 22 months in a row. You've been hanging with me. Thank you for that resub. Come on in here, sis. I appreciate you. Coming on down, and Joanna G98 is in the room in the Lion's Den. Come on and roar, sis. So good to have you. Cassandra Woke 2022. So much love coming to you. Come on in the Lion's Den and roar. I'm looking and I see MCP812. Come on, sis. So much love, hugs, peace, joy, and happiness coming to you. BTD Mom, good morning to you, sis. Come on in here. Stacy 546 is my girl. I appreciate you all day long. Come on in here. Tall Pumps is pumping tall. So good to see you in the Lion's Den. Good morning to you. Coming on down, and Kim Possible 711, that's my pastor from the ATL. I love to say, oh, thank heaven for 711. Come on in here, and I appreciate you. It's still your birthday month. Celebrate. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking, and I'm seeing who came in the basement while I was upstairs. SK8843 was here, but good morning if I missed you, because I surely appreciate you being in the midst this morning. Come on, girl. Come on, come on. No, okay, I was going to sing a little something. Now, coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm checking out, and I'm trying to see who else came in. Did I miss anybody? Do we have everybody as we get ready to roll out through the day here? I'm looking, and I think we might just have everybody that's in my chat so far. So this is how we do it. Double Spirit 08 is in the room. Good morning to you. She is a phenomenal moderator for the Dr. Daddy Priest. Good morning to you, sis. So much love coming to you. She got double spirit, so she's all right with me. Come on with that. Give me that double spirit. Now get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Because we're going to have a little conversation. What had happened was, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, come on here, y'all. Let's talk just a tad about what happened while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. I see your coffee cup, tall pumps. I see your coffee cups. Come on in here. Lovey 54 is in the room. Good morning to you, sis, and so much love coming to you. I appreciate you. Now, I saw some things this morning, and I just want to appreciate news from views. I appreciate those of you that are dropping things in news for views. Dan Darn is in the room. There's my girl. Come on in here, sis. And so much mad love coming to you. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see those coffee cups, Stacy 546. Come on, come on, come on. Now let's go. I saw some things, news from views. There are some cute little things in there, and I really wanted to kind of highlight some of that on today. So let's do that. While we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, I want to start right here. This little story, this little story right here, I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So I want to, let me see if I can stop it. It's already rolling. There we go. It's already rolling. Now, this little baby right here, and I just appreciate, again, those that are dropping stuff in news for views. I think the Rebel Inc. has been putting stuff in there. Auntie Diddy had some items in there for us to look at today. I appreciate y'all so much. You just don't know. This is just blessing my whole soul. Now, look at here. I want to start, and I might have missed the first part of this, so I'm gonna let it replay after it gets finished. But this little baby right here just blessed my whole life, and this is the way we want to start the morning, if you don't mind. This baby is gonna start us off.
What color is this? What color is this? Delilah, what color is this?
She's the only human.
What color is this?
I'm gonna let that play again, y'all. Let me see if I can get it to replay.
What color is this?
She does.
What color is this? What color is this? Delilah, what color is this?
She's the only human.
What color is this?
Now, y'all, that's my kind of carrying on. That's my kind of carrying on. It really is. That's my kind of carrying on. That's how we train the babies. And wasn't that too cute, Auntie Diddy? That is so cute. I said that blessed me this morning, and I said, isn't it hilarious? Not your average guy. And I mean, every time that she got those colors right, I'm telling you, the screaming and the cavorting that took place thereafter just blessed my whole life. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we want to do with these babies, Lovey 54. Come on, double spirit. Wasn't that just the most precious thing? So I said, this is in a time when we have so much negativity going on. I said, this is how I want to start this morning, and this is how we're going to get. It was just too cute fairly all day. Celebrate your greatness, and start it when they're babies. That's how we make the difference. Start them celebrating their own greatness. It's okay to applaud everybody else, but teach them how to appreciate themselves and to look at their accomplishments and just celebrate. I loved it. That's cuteness on 100, MCP 812. Cuteness on 100. It just blessed my whole life, and I appreciate that. Now, Rebel had put something in on a couple of weeks ago, and yes, for those that want news from viewers, it is in Discord. It's been there forever. A lot of people have not seen it there, I think, and I don't necessarily talk about it a lot, Tall Pumps. It is news for viewers. If you in Discord, you'll find it there, and I think the only two that have really been putting in there, because I really have not what I want to say published it or really talked about it a lot, Auntie Diddy has been putting clips out there, as well as the Rebel Inc. So you are free. Any of the viewers that have something that you want to look at and review, please drop that in news for viewers and we'll take a look at it. The Rebel put this, I believe it was last week when she put this out. And I want to, let me stop that right there. This young man, I want to applaud him for not only saving these individuals, these young ladies that were drowning, but he also saved a police officer who was attempting to save the young ladies. Come on, not your average guy. We need to celebrate the smallest of accomplishments. That's big facts. That's big facts right there. That's something that we need to do, and we need to turn that thing around so that we can enjoy and appreciate. And as some people say, every small thing is a great thing. Every small thing is a great thing. So applaud, appreciate. Come on, then, darn. I appreciate you riding and listening. So much love coming to you. I just appreciate you being here, sis. So much love. Now, this young man right here, I really appreciated this, and let's let it roll.
Action when he saw a car drive off a boat launch into the Pascagoula River. Inside, 3 girls. Bud Evans also saved Moss Point police officer Gary Mercer, who responded to the scene and swam out to help the girls.
The car was under the water. They was in the water, trying to stay above the water, saying help. So I ran over there. I took my shoes off, and I took my shirt off, and I jumped in the water. And at first, I got the girl that was closest to me. Her name was Logan. And I turned around. I see the police officer. He drowning. He going underwater, drowning, saying help. So I went over there. I grabbed the police officer, and I'm like swimming him back until I feel myself I could walk.
Show of courage there. And his mom, a very proud one, of course. Both the officer and woman posted online thanking the team for being so brave and saving their lives. 16-year-old.
Now, isn't that beautiful? Come on, I'm going to give it up for him. He put his own life in jeopardy. His statement, I just couldn't let none of those people die. Come on. I love it. And save the police officer, too. So there you have it. I love that story. I appreciate, and so many times we don't get the opportunity. Tall pumps. Every small thing. Y'all ain't right. Y'all are not right. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you guys. You guys are just too much. And there she is, Shelly Thunder. Come on in here, Shelly Thunder. Good morning to you, and it's good to see you in the Lion's Den. Tall Pumps, I just don't know what I'm going to do with you. I just don't know what I'm going to do. And we always, all the negative things that we always hear and see, especially about our young black males, this kind of bravery, I think, needs to have more publicity. It needs to be spoken of a little more frequently, because at the end of the day, he did that fairly all day. He did that. And you saw that story, Stu. And that's it's very honorable deed that he did. And indeed, I just wanted to stop and give something to that. She put that in on last week. But I thought that was a story I wanted to start with this morning as well, because sometimes we just need a little bit of deviation. There's enough negativity to go around. Sometimes we just need a little deviation to be able to enjoy what has gone on in the world and to really enjoy that. Now, Tall Pumps did send me the clip on yesterday of the police officer that was basically, at the end of the day, yeah. Tall Pumps, kudos to that young black hero. That's exactly what he was, and I want to give him his props because he did that thing. He really, really did. Now, Tall Pumps, as I said, she did go ahead and put this clip in here of the police officer on his phone while children are being shot and killed in the classroom in Uvalde. I did want to appreciate her for sharing that with us on yesterday. And so I definitely I want to play that clip for you on today. Now hold your horses. It just wants to run off without me. So here we go. I want to get it all set up, and then we'll let it roll that beautiful bean footage. Here it is.
To new questions and new anger after that chilling video was released from inside that school in Uvalde. The families who lost their children want answers. How this went on for 77 minutes. The images of officers retreating in that hallway. ABC's John Quinones tonight in Uvalde.
Tonight, in that Uvalde community, many parents have been demanding answers. Now, their anger only growing after a new video obtained by KVUE and the Austin American-Statesman shows the 77 agonizing minutes from the time the gunman entered the school until law enforcement would finally take him down. Those organizations releasing the leaked video to provide transparency to the community. One of the responding officers was outside the classroom, armed with an assault rifle, just 3 minutes into the massacre. Police retreating after coming under fire. Teacher Arnulfo Reyes says watching the video makes him sick. He was shot twice, trapped with his students inside that classroom, as one child called out to police for help.
Disgusted. It's just showing them running. I couldn't run. My kids couldn't run. If you're standing outside the door and you run, that upsets me because we couldn't run anywhere.
Reyes lost all 11 of his students. It's not until 48 minutes after the shooter entered the school, after more shots are fired, that officers finally move toward the classroom. But still, no rescue attempt. One officer even getting hand sanitizer. It would take another half hour for a team to breach the classroom to kill the gunman. 2 teachers and 19 children would die. Off-duty Border Patrol agent Jacob Alvarado raced to the school after his wife, a teacher, texted that there was an active shooter. He could hear the gunfire as he got his wife, daughter, and dozens of other children out of the classrooms. But after seeing the video, he hesitates to criticize fellow officers.
I don't know what's going through their head at the time.
But 77 minutes.
Yeah. I mean,
they held back.
Yeah.
He's shooting away inside that classroom.
I can't tell you what those officers were thinking at the time.
What would you have done?
I would like to believe that I would have gone in there as quickly as possible. But like I said, there is protocol that you have to follow.
And here in Uvalde tonight, where many parents continue to demand answers, some say these images are just too painful.
It's like reliving that day all over again. And I'm sick of it.
And John Quinones with us tonight from Uvalde. And John, I know these families are still waiting for the report from this investigation into the shooting, likely to be released this coming weekend now.
That's right. You know, the anger and the pain and the outrage, David, I got to tell you, is incredibly palpable even tonight. And now the town is bracing itself for the results of that investigation, which are expected to be released now within just a matter of days.
Right. John Quinones tonight. John, we're glad you're back in Texas for us. Thank you. To new questions.
Now, thank you so much, Tall Pumps, for sending that. Now, I think what stands out most to me, you all, the popo that was running and almost fell down trying to run the opposite direction. That man, good morning, Twana Switch. Come on in here. Good to see you this morning. And I've already announced, but we will be with you on Saturday. And we're looking forward to that. Now, but y'all, did y'all see the man? The man was running. He almost lost his balance trying to run the opposite direction. When you first look at it, you wonder, is he hit? Did something happen? What? That man was so scared. That man was, somebody probably needed to check his underwear, because I bet you there were tire tracks in there. That man was so scared that I'm like, why is he on anybody's police department? Because the way that man was running the opposite direction trying to save himself, it just didn't make any sense. He tripped over his own feet, Stacy, trying to go the opposite direction, gun in hand. And here you got children in here that are dying. You have teachers in here that are dying, and you're so scared. Now, I'm going to tell you, at the end of the day, I got that tall pumps. It's okay. That wasn't a video, but that's okay. It was good. It was good to see and review. That's okay. But I appreciate you. But at the end of the day, the officer running away, BTD mom, tripping over his own feet, trying to get out of there. Why does he have a job? Why is he a police officer? You know, and at the end of the day, some officers aren't built for the task as well. Not your average guy. Then why are they there? Why are they there? Those officers clearly did not value the lives of those people in the building. They clearly did not. They valued their own lives, which is why you always get the I feared for my life. I feared for my life, especially after they kill unarmed black folks and others. It's not just black folks, but definitely unarmed black folks and others et al. This is where we get the I feared for my life, because they are scared to begin with. Why are you there? You're in the wrong occupation. You're in the wrong job. If you are that scared, how are you going to protect and preserve, which you did none of the above, when you hear shots and you're armed and you're running the other direction, fleeing like I'm telling you. So, and yes, Stacy, there's supposedly training for these kinds of situations all of the time. But if this is what we get after your training in real life scenarios, you're tripping over your own feet trying to run the opposite direction. You should be running to the situation, not away from it. But this is why when we get stopped on car stops, even as I talked on the other day, oh, that's one bad dude from the airplane, from the helicopter rather. Well, I got an aerial view. Oh, that's one bad dude. And all of these popo shoot up and come up and shoot this young man down less than 15 minutes after he's left his college class on his way home. Shoot the boy dead in the street. And I'm looking from the air. Oh, that's one bad dude. You're scared. If you got a bunch of scaredy cats that are supposed to be police officers and law enforcement, that every time you turn around, they fear for their lives, we don't need you. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Now, I just feel like watching that children and teachers, SK8843, children and teachers in the room with this armed man, and instead of you going in to charge this one young man with all of y'all out here, got on bulletproof vests and semi-automatic weapons, you all are out here running for your life down the hallway. Oh, he was slew-footed, tall pumps. He was slew-footed. Could it be? Y'all ain't ready for me. Could it be? The devil. Oh, ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. He was slew-footed, all right. The devil was in those feet. The devil was in that man's feet. And the devil was in that man's mind. And the devil was in that man's heart, that he would be running away when you got women, men, teachers, and children in here getting shot up and killed, and you'd rather try to preserve your ham. I just don't get it. But this is what you signed up to do, to protect and preserve. So at the end of the day, you were talking to one of the officers at your church, and they have to take the active shooter class twice a year, Kim Possible. So is that what they learn in active duty class? Is that what they learn, to stand outside, active shooter class, to stand outside and stand there and wait until you get 90 po to back you up before you go in and charge one individual and a multitude of little children and teachers that are helpless, unarmed, and unable to protect themselves. So at the end of the day, you know, we have militarized the po, but have not screened officers' mentality. Come on with that, SK 8843. There's a discrepancy, and a large one to boot. Not your average guy. Tripped by Satan? Tripped up by Satan, baby. He was tripped up by Diablo and his twin brother Beelzebub. I'm telling you, it was just unconscionable that this man literally, and he wasn't the only one, but he was the most obvious one, because baby, I'm looking at him and I'm like, sir, you tripped over your own 2 feet. Your own 2 feet. Trying to get out of there. That's just unbelievable. Bad boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Dr. Davey. he gonna run. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna run. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's gonna run the opposite direction. This is just unconscionable. This is an example of what happens when they hire what we used to call wannabes. Those were men and women who had watched the cops shows and wanted to be a cop. To me, it seems like that's all they have on the departments anymore. And you may not be far from the truth there, Stacy 546, because these are all wannabes. So many of them are nothing more than wannabes, because they surely ain't the po. I just cannot believe it. So at the end of the day, which is confusing, because they shoot when they want to. They shoot when they want to, tall pumps. Now that's for sure. What we saw is not what they are taught, Kim Possible. Well, 70 plus minutes. I'm like, how do you explain that? Listen, Rebel, listen, my throat. Let me clear my throat. You know how singers do. I want y'all to pray for me. My throat is a little afflicted this morning. But I'm going to pray for me as I attempt to sing. If you're going to attempt to sing, sit down. BTD mom, that means the whole force flunked that class. They flunked that class, BTD mom. They obviously flunked that class. Run, Forrest, run. Cassandra Woke, that's what he did. He ran. What kind of valor do you see? That was just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. As he tripped over his own 2 feet. I'm like, honey, them boats got in the way. Them size 13, 14s got in the way. And honey, he almost fell down. Oh my God, just unbelievable. Thank you for sending that to us. And I know that wasn't the one that you wanted after I rolled it. But nonetheless, it gave us an opportunity to see that man tripping over his feet. That was worth the watch. Some run and others won't even approach. Even with the helmet, shield, and the high-powered rifles, they someplace cowering down, SK. Fearing for their lives. I'm so sick of that phrase. I feared for my life. So when you fear for your life, you can pull the trigger 7, 8, 9, 30 times, shoot up somebody, 90 bullets, 60 hits. You can do that when you fear for your life with an unarmed black man, unarmed black person. But when we fear for our lives, you better not reach for anything that looks like a weapon, because we gonna shoot you dead because you were reaching for something. Well, babies, y'all reach for something when you fear for your lives too. Make that make sense. It's called shoot, don't shoot, not run. Stacy, that joker was running. You understand the words that were coming out of my mouth. He was running for his life. As Cassandra Woke said, run, Forrest, run. That's what he was doing. He was trying to catch Forrest Gump. He was trying to see, could he catch up with Forrest? Because, baby, he was on his way. Now, I'm going to come over and I want to take a look and I want to come back to news from Views. A hot topic this morning, and I did see it, and I appreciate the fact that Auntie Diddy put this out here for us today, y'all. And I just appreciate you in the news for Views. And she, as I said, has been posting, and I appreciate you so much. Now, let me come over. Whether y'all realize it or not, there is a hot topic. Good morning, Simply Amazing. Come on in here. Good to see you this morning. Come on in here and rest yourself in the lion's den. Now, whether you all realize it or not, it's a hot topic this morning. There is a viral video that's going around where Sesame Street Place, whatever they call it now, they don't necessarily call it Sesame Street, is on the hot seat right now because they have been called for filth and called on the carpet for their racism that has been evident. Now, I'm getting ready to show you the one where this lady has taken it to a whole nother level. She has retained an attorney. She's going to sue these jokers' tails. And at the end of the day, listen. So at the end of the day, honey, the Rosita and her racist mess, tall pumps, Rosita and her racist mess has upset the fruit basket. And listen, they getting ready to get some money. You know, I'm not mad at them. You take your child and y'all want to clown somebody. This is how you get paid. Get your money. Get your money. So I appreciate this video clip and footage that was provided to us today. And she gave several clips. It's out there in Discord. You can go out there and see it. News from viewers going out there and check it out. But let's look at the Sesame Place. Yes, not Sesame Street, but Sesame Place. And there's something, there's another one of them. They have a couple of affiliates and whatnot. So let's check out what happened at can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Here we go. Sesame Place.
And Lauren, what more do you want to see from Sesame Place as a response? I mean, their response, which we read, the statement, focused on the intent, not really the impact. Do you think that they should consider the impact on your child, but the other children who were ignored here, and you know, try to implement policies to prevent this from ever happening? I mean, maybe that's screening the people that they're hiring in a different way. I don't know, but what do you think?
So we've noticed that there's a lot of outrage, rightfully so, around these videos. But then what? What's the next step after the outrage, right? People are calling for the boycott of Sesame Street and all these other things. And one of the important things that we've been saying to people is that Sesame Street, which is operated by the Sesame Workshop, is not in charge of Sesame Place, you know? And so it doesn't help to go over there to Sesame Street and say these things. What we want is for Sesame Place to do the things that they said they're going to do in their second statement, which is to have better training, to have more inclusivity in mind for their staff. And that would help significantly, because then you wouldn't have this deluge of videos that are coming out where people in the costume are behaving inappropriately and not aligning themselves with the character that they're supposed to be portraying.
Yeah, more monitoring of those character actors, more accountability for those character actors. You know, once they put on that costume, they have to portray the whatever Sesame Street's characters embody.
Right.
So you no longer can go by what you want to do. You have to be that character, and that's, you know, the friendliest place on earth, right? Is Sesame Street. And you have to, you know, make these children feel happy and special, because that's what we're there for.
And so there you have it, folks. And at the end of the day, what I think I was outraged by, I see you. Good morning, Barbara Hardy. Come on in here. And that's my friend. That's my these are they friend. At the end of the day, cut the check. Cut the check. And I see you fairly all day. It's just outrageous. It's enraging. And at the end of the day, for them to come out with these stories, Cassandra, where they tried to say that, you know, it really wasn't as it looked. It was a matter of somebody in the audience asked her to hold their baby and take a picture, and she was shaking her head no. But then when they came out with all of these other video clips of others that turned in the video footage and actually was able to prove that was a straight up bold-faced, bald-faced lie. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? It was a lie.
Why you always lying?
Then they came back and retracted that statement and apologized. It's good to see you, Stacy 546. So much love to you. We'll see you tomorrow. Blessings go with you. So many lies on top of lies, tall pumps. And it goes to show that instead of just coming clean and saying, okay, we need to address the inappropriateness of this behavior, they came out lying. So at that right there, you lost me on that turn. When you come out lying, and I told you all, your video camera is going to be one of your best friends in this dispensation of time. Get John Studios. Good morning to you. He is a streamer. I want y'all to follow him if you're not following him, and he'll bless your life. Good morning, sir. So your camera is your best friend at this point, because listen, that was even additionally how they were able to dispel when they got to lying. Other videos started coming to fore. Now, let me say this. And then with this, that this woman and her husband have just absolutely positively refused to let it just fade into the woodwork. This woman has refused to let it just fade into the woodwork. Now you have other people that are coming out saying they've experienced similar behavior towards their children. So at this point, they're actually talking about the potential of a class action suit against Sesame Place. So, you know, listen, we keep telling y'all it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. The montage of the many instances where black children were ignored was very upsetting. Kim Possible. You have children now that, mind you, they paid their money to get into the establishment, just like everybody else paid their money to get in there. But then once you get in there, to have your children openly shunned and mistreated. These are children that we're talking about. These are small, impressionable children that we're talking about. So when you get children, now y'all know the age group of Sesame Street. We're talking about preschoolers. We're talking about very small sized children. You have these children that are coming in open, excited, thrilled to be there. And then they get shunned, and then they get treated as if they are nothing and nobody. So at the end of the day, you know, I'm just looking, and I have to feel, in all honesty, Kim Possible, for the number of people, so many instances that have been brought to light, for the number of people that have now come out and said we were victims of the very same type of behavior. I have to feel like it's a culture within that organization, and the organization, I believe, had to be aware that this behavior was going on. So at the end of the day, you know, I'm side eye, left and right. And additionally, where they talked about having training, and we want to have some diversity training. No. They've already shown themselves racist. They don't need to be trained. They need to be fired. You understand what I'm saying? They don't need to be trained. They need to be fired. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? They do not need to sit through X number of classes. They do not need to have somebody tell them how to be this and that. No.
Ain't nothing but
devil. I can't hear you. Ain't nothing but the devil.
They do not, all caps, bold, italicized, they do not need to have training. No, ma'am, no, sir. These folks need to be fired. Straight and simple. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They need to be terminated. So that's the way I feel about that. You're not going to train that. You cannot train that. And they've already shown from whence they come and the energy that they have. So get rid of them. That's the way I feel about it.
You shall not pass.
And for Sesame Place to operate an establishment, and they have several, to operate establishments where you are aware and have been made aware that this type of behavior has been lodged and raised against children of color and black children.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
No, ma'am, no, sir. They did it to the right parents this time, Fairly All Day. They really did. And she is going to hold them accountable as they should. So, at this time, I'm feeling like, class action means many folks is getting ready to get a check. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And people are like, why do you always want to immediately go to money? Because that's the only thing that actually brings change. We can march, we can talk, we can walk, we can protest, we can do everything else. They don't care until you get in them pocketbooks. So listen, at this point, cut a whole lot of checks. Cut a whole bunch of checks. Can you show me how to get to Sesame Bank? I saw you. Show me the money. That's all I want to see. So, and change your wicked ways. That's what I want. And they gonna learn today, Tall Pumps. They gonna learn today. We play no games about our children, Simply Amazing. And that's all I can say. It's raining checks. I hear you. It's raining checks. Hallelujah. Yes, it's raining checks because of hate-filled men and women. And so at the end of the day, it's a culture and it's systemic, Tall Pumps. And this is why I do so much talking about the issues that we have. Do we have a raid? I think we got a raid, y'all. It's a raid, and I'm sure that it's the gospel takeover. Come through, y'all. Come on in. I see you. One reason you up in here. Miss Frosty, come on in. Wins 2000, I see you. Come on in here. LaWanda Baskerville. Designers Original, I see you. Only one Miss Cox. After Javonda 5, you up in here. Come on. DJ Harmonics, I see you. So glad to have you. Miss P. Smitty, come on in here, sis. I appreciate you for being in the Lions Den. Miss V 07, I see you. Jackie 0722, KB Brown, what up, family? Come on in here, and so much love to you. Thank you for coming in, and one reason. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this raid, sir. Thank you for the raid. We appreciate you. Come on in, Coco Angel 82. I see you. Come on in here, Miss Shell. Come on in here, Miss Shell. I appreciate you for coming over. Thank you for riding that raid train. It's the gospel takeover. Yes, it is. So glad to have every last one of you with us on this morning, and we appreciate you. Come on in here. Come on in here. Come on in here. Hey. Thank you for the resub, Miss Fee. I appreciate you. 10 months in a row. Come on and roar. Thank you. Woo! Hey. Yes. That's the way we do it in the Lions Den. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Now, I tell you what. Yes. yes. Y'all came in when we were having conversation about Sesame Place, y'all. Sesame Place. Thank you. And listen, One Reason, thank you for that raid. If you're not following One Reason, please follow. I call him the Bishop of Twitch. Yes, he is. This is a fine brother, and I love him like a brother. There's nobody like One Reason on Twitch. I love you, man. I love you, man. I love you. Come on in here, and thank you for that raid. And to all of those raiders that rode that train over, thank you, thank you, thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Now, back to the topic at hand. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Because at the end of the day, Sesame Place, listen, Sesame Place, show me the money. That's all I can say. Show me the money. So at the end of the day, y'all, I feel again with the idea that this is a class action suit that is potentially forming here. I'm like, oh, I'm with you all day long, fairly all day. They picked the right one this time because mother, she's getting ready to shut them down. One Reason, shut them down. And listen, pay the lady and everybody else that you've gone out here and mistreated in these children coming to be entertained. And y'all know how kids are. You go someplace and you're so excited, you know, it's, oh my God, we're going to Sesame Place. I mean, you know, I'm trying to imagine in my mind's eye what all was going on in those children's minds when they found out they were going to, oh man, we going to Sesame Place today. We going to Sesame Place. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. See, Asia 1969. Listen, and so at the end of the day, Crazy Berrytown, there she is, y'all. There she is. She will Zumba you to Zion. CBT is in the house. Good morning to you, love. It's so good to see you, beautiful. But I'm going back to this idea. Please follow her if you're not. Can you imagine those kids? I mean, you know, if it was me, I can remember when we had an amusement park in Kansas City called Worlds of Fun. And, you know, the time that I got to go to Worlds of Fun as a child, I can remember, child, you can't sleep at night. You're so excited. You're just, you're just giddy. We're going to Worlds of Fun in the morning. In my mind's eye, I can imagine these children with that same kind of energy and that same kind of excitement. And come on with that. They're expensive. So listen, DJ D-Man is in the house, y'all. Good morning to you. He is a streamer, you all. And please follow him. He's an excellent streamer. You will not be disappointed. I promise you. KB Browns, show me the money. Show me the money. That's all I know. So at the end of the day, you know, I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself, I can only imagine those babies have been planning, come on, for that day for weeks. Most likely they didn't sleep a wink the night before. That's what I'm talking about, fairly all day. That's what I'm talking about. So this is the kind of energy that you come in here with only to try and be excited when you making all kind of contact with all the kids around me, with the kid to my left, to the kid to my right, all of the kids that are white. Oh my goodness, you can do nothing wrong. Come on and let's have a good time. And you get to me as a black child and you shun me, shake your head no and won't. Do y'all know how crushing that had to be to those babies? Do you know how devastating that had to be to those babies? So at the end of the day, you know, I'm just like, thank you, Go Ratty. Come on in here, my brother. Good to see you this morning. And thank you for that resubscription. I appreciate you. I love you, man. It's good to see you every time I see you in the place. So, you know, I just cannot imagine. DJ Lady Rasta, thank you for that late raider. Come on in here. So much love coming to you. I appreciate you, Double Spirit, for those roaring biddies. Come on. I thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for your support. So, you know, in my mind's eye, fairly all day, I'm with you. They didn't sleep the night before. They were excited. They've been planning on it only to have their excitement dashed against the rocks with some racist behavior. They look so confused. Wins 10,000. You saw because your kids are so innocent. They're so innocent. They don't see race. They don't see the color. They don't see any of that until they're tainted by the people that they're around. They are going to carry that experience for the rest of their lives. For the rest of their lives. And that kind of disappointment and that kind of letdown is just not something that you're going to recover from in just a few pats on the, well, you know, baby, it's all right. You can't explain that away. You cannot explain that. Those babies are devastated. And so at this point, yes, mother, show me the money. Give me some money. And y'all can talk. And you done already started lying. You done already went on with the lies. So don't come with me with anything but a check. And again, change your wicked ways. And as I said earlier, this is not a situation to me. You know, when they're talking about as a company and a corporation, they want to start diversity training. And no. You need to fire racist folk. You need to check folk when they come in the door. What kind of attitude, what kind of mindset. And again, for a class action, as Kim Possible said, that means you have disappointed and hurt and had this behavior towards a whole lot of people. And again, it's a culture because you all were not unaware. You were aware of what was going on and chose to do nothing. So at the end of the day, pay me my money. That's what I'm talking about. Miss P. Smitty, thank you so much for the roaring biddies. I appreciate you. So much love coming to you. Is Raw Confessions in the house? Good morning, Iron. Come on in here. So much love coming to you. Kudos to those parents fairly all day. They have taken their babies to therapy behind this. And at the end of the day, rightfully so. Because that, whether folks want to realize it or not, that was a trauma. And that trauma needs to be dealt with. Definitely, you don't want your child walking away with some kind of attitude of inferiority because it's just not so. So at this point, whatever you have to do to put them in therapy and get them back on the right track. And I know it's easy to say child victims, we should be able to just talk to, understand, baby, understand they got the problem. Children are going to internalize. Children are going to see a whole lot of what's wrong with me, why I'm different, I don't fit. There's just such a tendency to go that direction, even though you have folks that want to be like, just pat them on the head. They didn't know what they were doing. Go on with life. No, that's a scar. That's a wound. That's a wound that needs to be addressed. So that's the way I feel about that. They employed and knew the mindset of those that they employed, den darn. And not only that, as I understand, there were other parents that said something. They didn't take it to the level and to the limit that this mother is taking it, but they did speak to management. And again, it's a culture. Management did not address it appropriately. So there you have Sandrap 71. Thank you so much for that subscription 4 months in a row. I appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate you. So, at the end of the day, you just can't say a whole lot to me. I just need to see a check. I just need to see a check, because the rest of that, you just wasting your time. You just blowing some hot air, and you done already started lying. So, at the end of the day, quit talking, start walking, put folk out, fire them, terminate them. You good. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Start walking folk out the door. That's what I need you to do. And cut the check. That's all I need you to do. Cut the check. That's all I can say. So at the end of the day, that's the way I feel about that. Kim Possible and Sesame Street needs to sue Sesame Place, because those kids don't differentiate between the Sesame Street character and the Sesame Place characters. They will think of that character that character, shun them. And I'm with you on that, Kim Possible. I would, if they really care. MCP 812, thank you for those roaring biddies. I appreciate you. I would say absolutely, if they care about their reputation and if they care about how this has impacted them, because most people are not going to think Sesame Place / or versus Sesame Street. When they see those characters, they see Sesame Street. At the end of the day, when they see those characters, they see Sesame Street. Misty Blue, good morning to you. Come on in here. Working and lurking. Come on. I understand. So glad to have you. Even though you're lurking and working, you're here. And that's what matters. Thank you so much for coming in and being with us on today. Blessings to you, DJ Harmonics. So much love coming to you. Thank you for coming over. They're all a part of the same dastardly tree of rotten fruit. I see you. They are all a part of the same dastardly tree of rotten fruit. I agree with that, Tall Pumps. So at the end of the day, there you have it. You got an attitude. You have a mindset. And now I'm going to say this because somebody pointed out, I can't remember who it was. Somebody pointed out that they're extremely expensive to get into anyway. This is what I want us to understand. Many times the first order of separation and segregation is cost, because they feel like if we charge X amount of dollars to where people cannot afford it, we have charging such a phenomenal amount of money. By charging that amount of money, I've already weeded out a whole lot of people that we don't want here because they can't afford to be here. So understand, when people come with that premium cost on admission fees, cost of the stuff that you get when you get in there, sometimes that is strictly the first line of defense that racist people will utilize, racist corporations will utilize, so that they can do that first screening. You can't afford to get in here. So let's be clear on that. It's all a part of that same dastardly tree of the rotten fruit. So you said it well right there. Thank you so much. Simply amazing. Thank you for 8 months in a row. I appreciate you, sis, and so much love to you. Thank you. If it does go to court, they may try to explain it away by saying you can't sue someone for an opinion. But at a certain point, it goes way beyond just an opinion. It turns into a personal attack because they made those babies feel so bad. Come on, Winston 2000. It's not just you. At the end of the day, I'm telling you, it's really something going on. Come on, Fairly All Day. Thank you for that gifted sub. I appreciate you so very much. So much love coming to you. KB Browns, thank you for 8 months in a row. I appreciate you. If there's a hype train going on, I don't know it because I can't see it, but I just appreciate everybody that's giving. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for your support. Pay the parents of the children for the emotional damage their children are going through for years to come, then darn, years to come. And we want them to dig deep. Get down in them pockets. Get deep down in those pockets and show me the money. That's the way I feel about it. Absolutely, positively. So at the end of the day, you can afford it, but you won't go. It's probably not a lot to do. I hear you, and I get you on that designer's original. And I'm just pulling that out as a point. Sometimes that's exactly, I'm just saying, that's the idea and the mentality behind the price setting for that admission. They're trying to do some weeding out. Do we know who was in the costume? Not your average guy. They asked who was in the costume, and they alleged they had no idea who was in the costume. They couldn't say. That's what they said. Because that was one of the first questions that the mother asked.
Why you always lying?
Yeah. They couldn't say who was in the costume. They were unable to identify and verify who was in the costume.
Why you always lying?
And there you have it. So you pray there's video footage of all. There is, then darn, there is. And that is the thing that has really push this thing forward. Reboot the Podcast is in here this morning. If you're not following Reboot the Podcast, now I'm going to stop here for station identification. These are my millennial babies, you all, and we're trying to get them to an affiliate position. So if you are in here right now, not now, but right now, as DJ LV says, if you're in here and you're not following Reboot the Podcast, I'm going to ask that you would do me a favor. Click on Reboot the Podcast name, go out there and follow so we can get them to an affiliate status. They are doing a phenomenal job. Please go out there and click follow, as well as, if you would, click that notification button. They come on Monday evenings, 8 o'clock Central Time. Those are my girls. I took them out of the Lion's Den and gave them their own platform because I think they will do extremely well on their own. So if you would do that for Spiritual Thought Leader, click that link right now for Reboot the Podcast. Follow them, click that notification button, and come on back. And I appreciate you. Oh, come on, Fairly All Day. They know, trust, they know. And it was nothing but more lies, SK8843. Seems like they would know who was on shift or scheduled to be in the costume. Oh, wins 2000.
Why you always lying?
That's all that is. Honey, that ain't nothing but a bald face lie. They're lying. So there you go. At the end of the day, it is what it is. So you can clearly see Rosita say no to giving the children a high five. Designer's original, it was really clear. It was really plain. And even as they try, DJ I Rock Jesus, I just saw you, my brother. Y'all please go out there and follow DJ I Rock Jesus. He will bless your whole life. His energy is like none other on Twitch. Please follow my brother. He will bless you. And good morning to you, my brother. So you can clearly see it. And not only their video, but when Sesame Place tried to come out with the first lie that it was actually that gesture was towards somebody that was trying to get them to hold / take a picture with some child, and they were saying no to them. Other people came out and produced videos to show and prove that was a lie. So, at the end of the day,
Why you always lying?
Quit lying. So it's not gonna fly. It's not gonna fly.
You shall not pass!
And there you have it. DJ Tantrum SC is in the room. So much love coming to you. And follow my DJs. Please follow all the DJs in here. So much love to you and appreciate you for being here on this morning. When that lawsuit hits, they'll figure it out. Listen, when they start getting down in that pocketbook, and I got a feeling. Come on. I just got a feeling. Since Crazy Berrytown is in here, I'm going to channel her energy. I just got a feeling that Sesame Place might be in for this. The ship is sinking. The ship is sinking fast. Thank you for lurking and working, DJ Tantrum. I appreciate you. The ship is sinking fast. Do you hear me? They're going to be bailing water. You understand? They're going to be treading water. They're going to be swallowing water in not many days hence if they don't act right. They didn't want to identify them just like the cops are that they protect. But show the CEO of Sesame's Place and they'll start talking. Come on, start showing some faces and everybody going to start talking. Everybody going to start talking. Thank you so much for doing that, Only One Miss Cox. Thank you so much, Twana. Thank you all for doing that. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you for helping us to reach our goal. Now, so at the end of the day, this is some more of that Kim Burrell. It's not a racial issue. You don't get to act a whole fool and clown folks who give their last and buy your tickets and then trash them because you feel like they're not on your level. I'm not even going to deal with Kim Burrell this morning. Simply amazing. Y'all pay your ticket prices to go see her. I don't. So, everybody be persuaded in your own mind, but you're not going to talk about somebody like a dog and then think I'm going to pay my ticket prices to come here. You do whatever it is that you're doing. Management was at the Ohio meetup and now needs to rest, but the tour is coming soon. Come on here, Designers Original. I appreciate that. Isn't it amazing how quick the spirit of forgetfulness comes up on folks till they're caught red-handed? And they've been caught. They've been caught. They may as well change that costume to a Klan robe and a hat. So listen, how can the workers be paid if you don't know who's working at a specific time? Again, at the end of the day, SK8843, we see their works. We see their devices. Could it be? Could it be? The devil. But that old dastardly slimy devil. I'm here to tell you, it's Diablo and his twin brother Beelzebub. They ought to quit lying. They know who's in that costume. They know full well who's in that costume, but they're playing games. So at the end of the day, I'm trying to tell y'all, don't buy it, don't swallow it. Sinking sand, rebel. All other ground is sinking sand. I'm just trying to tell you, and let me just for one more and again, for whoever didn't get the revelation, whoever didn't get the understanding, whoever didn't get the word of knowledge and the word of wisdom, that boat is sinking. It's the flat flute. It's the flat flute. And it fits them right about now. It fits them real well. So you're sure they'll be on 2020 Interview in the Shadows, voice change and all of that, tall pumps. You know how they do it. You know how they do it. You're blaming Wanda for this management issue. I hear y'all. Listen, at the end of the day, it's the devil, KB Browns. It's the devil, Diablo, and his twin brother Beelzebub. It's all of them just rolled up into one. So I just want y'all to know. I just want y'all to be clear. That Sesame Place got a whole lot of... Explain it to me, Lucy. Explain it to me. Because I just can't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. And I surely cannot stand your actions towards little children. So let's see what game they play when they have to write that check. I hear you all day long. Write the check. That's what I want. So at the end of the day, that story, and thank you again, that was brought to us by none other than Auntie Diddy. And thank you for the footages and the clips. It is out there. News for viewers. Viewers can actually go ahead and put in information that we share. And that's been out there a long time, but it's just been underutilized. Thank you so much, Auntie Diddy, for putting
16-year-old Corey Evans.
And I want to thank you for that. Now, I want to go back and I want to catch a few other things here. Matter of fact, there's a whole lot of footage out there for anybody that wants to see it. Auntie Diddy gave us with several different clips and versions that you can look at, and I appreciate you for that. Now, yesterday we kind of got started on some conversation because listen, it's happening. Let me see where I'm on my time. Oh no, Auntie Diddy, I appreciate you, sis. I appreciate you. You're just so beautiful. You're just such a beautiful spirit. I appreciate you. At the end of the day, I'm going to go back and I want to touch on a few things that I want us to think about. And I'm going to come here for just a second. We're talking about it's happening, and it is. Stay Lifted 2021. Come on in here. She is a phenomenal streamer, and I want you all to go out and follow her. She will bless your whole entire life. Thank you for coming in this morning. So good to see you, baby. You're here working and crying because you trusted every last one of them puppets for 2 to 32 years old. Listen, at this point, Elmo in the trash basket. Elmo, at this point, come on. Let me console my sister. Because listen, you heard what she said. From 2 to 32, Sesame Street with her people. From 2 to 32. Y'all, I just feel for her. I feel for her. And listen, at this point, you know, I just feel so bad. I just feel so bad because this right now, Your baby, Elmo, in the trash basket. Shall we bow our heads? I see him floating right on up before us. I see that spirit ascending right on. Listen, because at this point, they're trash. So I just don't know. There's been an issue with Elmo for years. I see Jazzy Meat, come on in here. So much love coming to you. So rest in peace, Elmo. That's exactly what it is. Rest in. Listen, floating on up. Did you say? Let me do it one more time. Yes, Elmo. He's gone, y'all. He's gone. He's gone. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? He's gone. Now, where they having the repass at? I'm hungry. Y'all know how we do it. At the end of the day, listen, I'm telling you, the voice of Elmo is a black man. I got you, Designers Original. I hear you on that. So at the end of the day, I'm telling you, goodbye. You are the weakest link. Now, so when we get here, I want to deal with this issue right here as well. And it's happening, y'all. It's happening. This brother right here is talking and spitting some truth. It's time for us to get ready to transition and listen, straight shenanigans, Kim Possible. Just give me a moment and I'll get to it. I'm trying to tell you, just give me an usher and we'll get straight to it. This brother right here is spitting some truth about, and I don't know if I'm going to play the whole clip or not, but I want us to understand it's happening. But the need for us to really band together and begin to make some serious differences because we still are in many ways economically. And today I'm coming from a perspective of economics. We have got to make a different reality with the economic base. So at this point, I just want to share this. I want to talk about this just a little bit. This brother is talking about how white men still get 98.7% of the $69 trillion private business funding. Do you see that? White men. Now, while we still want to play this game that there's diversity, equity, and inclusion, and everybody's on the same level playing field, we keep trying to play this game. But the reality of it is we still see the bulk of monies going to white men. And when you look at that number, 98.7%. Do you see that? 98.7% to white men. I just want you to see that because the number is staggering. And yet and still, there's this illusion. I'm going to say it's an illusion of delusion. There is an illusion of delusion that they really want us to buy into. And here we're talking about venture capital and private business funding. The reality is that they still commandeer the bulk and the majority of the money. So come on, at some point, then darn, it's just words because actions speak louder than words. So this is where I would like to call for, and I think we've started seeing it. Jay-Z has been putting up VC capital. There are others that have been putting up VC capital. And I'm going to say this for everybody. And I know some really, I watch Shark Tank. I got some friends that really watch Shark Tank. But I want y'all to pay attention. Many times Shark Tank will have black owned companies that come into Shark Tank and they repeatedly, with good ideas, with good plans and everything else, in my opinion, this is my opinion, and still get turned away with no deals. And you'll still have white counterparts that will come in with almost frivolous, stupid ideas, and they'll get funding and walk out with money. I want y'all to pay attention because we still have this battle of an uphill road that it's a hard road to hoe, but we've got to do it, y'all. We got to become hoes. We got to get out here and hold this road, because at the end of the day, there's got to be money made available. And this is what I want us to understand. So many people's businesses are able to get started and thrive because they get this kind of venture capital that's backing them to give them the cushion that they need to take that great idea and take it to the next level and make it successful. So at this point, I want us to be clear, and I feel like particularly not just black people that have wealth and money, but we also need to ask everybody that's got wealth and money, if you put your money where your mouth is, if you really want to support the black community and the minority communities, we need y'all to start putting some venture capital into our communities so that we can support and fund. We've got genius ideas, and this is what happens a lot of times too. And I said this about Shark Tank because time and time again, we've seen a story that's circulating about the black man, the couple, the man and his wife that went in there and got turned down with a phenomenal idea, but they still went out and made it on their own and have turned that business into $1 billion business. Thanks be to God, and that's great. But why did you get turned down? Why did you not get the support? Why did you not get the underwriting? Why did you not get the VC capital so that you could go out and do it just a little bit easier? Yes, you got it done, but it's always by the sweat of your brow. You're going to work 2 times as hard. You're going to be hit with 10 times more obstacles, and we're going to sit here and watch you struggle. And should you happen to make it and good job, you made it anyway. But listen, you'll turn around and help folks with, I'm telling you, some of the stupidest idea, and they'll come out of there with deals. I want us to pay attention. So at this point, we need to really start engaging, because there are people. I listened to Chazzylicious is Cooking yesterday in Dr. Dady's stream, and I appreciated her for her transparency. As she said, while we're talking about doing self-care and everything else, when we don't have the funding and when we don't have the money to back it up, and we're still dealing and putting together a genius idea of a genius business, but the money is not there. The money is not, it's dried up. There's nothing there. You're in a financial desert. You don't really have the option of really making time for your self-care when you got to hit the bricks and make that money. So it's like choosing between, do I do self-care? Do I do this? Do I do that? And this is the thing I want us to pay attention to as well. At the end of the day, many times people will sit back and watch you fail, and then take your idea with their VC capital backed company and do exactly what it was you were trying to do and make bank. So this is something I want us to pay attention to. Many of our ideas are exploited and put out there, and it's not giving the VC capital that we need, so that it gives somebody else an opportunity to take what we have created with our creative minds and our creative selves, somebody else to sit back like vultures, wait for us to fail because we can't get any funding for it, and then take that same ball and run with it. Hey, y'all, you're in the lion's den. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black, because I tells it like it T-I-Z-tis. So we need to start looking at how we can band together to make our own VC capital, so that we can give people opportunities with these excellent ideas, genius plans and concepts. I've got to say, listen, SK8843 has an idea that is absolutely genius and marvelous of making a co-op community. It just needs funding. These are the types of things I'm looking at. I'm saying, look, I need you guys to look at how we can start changing the dynamics and change the trajectory, so that if all of us banded together and if all of us put our monies together, and and I already know, somebody, you can talk to you blue in the face. I'm not getting ready to do that. Because listen, somebody gonna run off with the money. Well, listen, there's enough of folk running off with the money on the other side, but you still go over to the other side and ask for them to fund you or help you or trust them with whatever business idea and concept that you have. And many times you walk away raped, robbed, and mugged, but hey, it was them, but when it comes into the black community, I shall not give them a chance, because I already know they're not gonna do me right. No, you don't know that. You haven't given the opportunity to manifest whether or not they're gonna do it or not. So at the end of the day, I'm looking at this video right here as a means to help us understand why we need to start banding together. Because at the end of the day in 2022, 98.7% is still going to white men. Houston, there is a problem. So let's look at this for a second.
$1 billion currently invested in venture capital and private equity. 69 trillion. Now, Biden spent less than $2 trillion to try to save the country for COVID and build back from the recession and all that. And 69 trillion in that two sectors. Now, of that 69 trillion, less than 1.3% is invested in firms founded, run, or owned by women and people of color combined. 1.3%. And I'll give you a little footnote. Last year, the one group who started the most small businesses of any category were black women. 30% of all small businesses in the United States in 2021 were started by black women. Black women get less than 0.2% of venture capital or private equity. So imagine the unfair advantage. Majority of the country are women, are female. The country is becoming more and more diverse. And so yet we don't have this kind of access to capital. So white men receive 98.7% of all capital. There is $69 trillion currently invested in venture capital and private equity. 69 trillion. Now, Biden spent less than $2 trillion to try to save the country for COVID and build back from the recession and all that. And 69 trillion in that two sectors. Now, of that 69 trillion, less than 1.3% is invested in firms founded, run, or owned by women and people of color combined. 1.3%. I'll give you a little footnote. Last year, the one group who started the most small businesses of any category were black women. 30% of all small businesses in the United States in 2021 were started by black women.
Now, I let that play twice because I wanted y'all to get those figures in your head. I wanted you to hear. So we're talking about barely 1% for women and people of color out of that 69 trillion. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Now, I loved, and I'm going to give some applause to the fact that 30% of new businesses started last year were by black women. I love it. 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 Black women are rising up to say, hey, We understand the only way to shift and go to another trajectory, to go to another level of where we want to get to, and not get and stay in this same over and over and over and over again used and abused trajectory of lack and not having and so on and so forth. We understand that if we're going to do anything at all, we've got to make a shift, and we've got to get up, and we've got to begin moving in a place of ownership and entrepreneurship. We've got to activate this. And I see you, Twana Switch. Your family is starting with an Anderson Fund to help family build your businesses. I want to give you some applause for that. Kudos. Whether you do it and start it with your family and then allow it to expand broader to a broader scope, we've got to find a way to pool, P-O-O-L, and pull, P-U-L-L, our resources together so that we can begin to find an economic standing that will allow us to really compete in the market and not always be at the bottom. So, even as we talk about, and there are a few people that get out and make it, there are a few people that are able to become successful in spite of, but it's way too few in proportion to the numbers of people that we represent here. And it's also way too few when you look at the idea of how much our consumer dollars are in the market. Our consumer dollars keep a lot of different companies and corporations afloat. The black people's consumer dollars keep a lot of businesses afloat. But we do not have a position, we do not have a standing to command where that money and how that money is spent. It's not coming back to the black community. So we really need to pay attention. I looked at that and I said, that is an astronomical figure that we're dealing with. And if he said only $2 trillion was used for President Biden to try to recover all of what we went through from the pandemic and beyond. And to take that and put that in perspective to 69 trillion, and most of that 97.3 is to white men. Oh, y'all, this is the kind of disparity that we have to look at in this country and understand really why so much of the fight and so much of the energy is being exerted to try to keep things the way they are, and in some instances to turn things back to the way it was, because they're trying to protect that income. They're trying to protect that money. They're trying to protect that pool of resources that does not, in their heart, belong to other people. It belongs to them rightfully so. We are entitled to hold 97.3%. We are called by God to have this 97.3%. We have the privilege of this 97.3% because we are true patriots and we're true Americans, and we are the ones that have built this country, and yada, 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 yada. All of these lies that continue to be told and perpetuated in our country and in our society. But when you start looking at those numbers and identifying what those numbers represent, you begin to see that. Go have a great day. Simply amazing. Thank you for coming in, and so much love coming to you. You begin to understand the stark reality of how serious this situation is. And at the end of the day, I'm looking and I'm checking it out. I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm like, hey, y'all, this is some serious stuff that we're talking about. We've got to get our edge in the economic market. We've got to make some shifts. And listen, at the end of the day, it's not just about trying to make it big in the stock market, trying to make it big with crypto. We're going to have some other things that also come into play here, because, there needs to be generational wealth that we can pass to our children also. going to go back to reparations by all means. You know, I'm not going to move away from that concept for the reality of how much our blood, sweat, tears, and death have committed to this country. By all means, there is the place where we really want to say, at the end of the day, we didn't come out asking for reparations. The country came out saying we're going to give you reparations, and then reneged on that. We want our money, and I'm gonna stay there, and I'm gonna stand that ground where the people feel like, oh, that was a long time ago, let it go. Show me the money, cut the check. And that will begin to shift some of the 97.3% that white men are holding, and it will begin to start a different narrative and a different trajectory for us to begin to have generational wealth for our children, to begin to have generational wealth, to begin to live a totally different reality. There has to be some level of reappropriating this particular scenario with economics and money. It's got to change. It's got to change. Now, I'm going to show this little clip right here. And so this clip, the Rebel put this in, and I'm going to close with this, and we're getting ready to get out of here. But I'm mighty afraid that many of the things that this video is going to share, that mindset has not gone too far from where this clip starts. And so as long as this is the mindset, as long as this is the energy, then we got to understand, to make a different story and a different narrative for ourselves. If y'all sitting there waiting for people's hearts to change, you are delusional. Check this out. Let me get the volume.
Just as free as we are. They have the same opportunity to work and to build their part of the town up just the same as we have. I just don't understand it and don't approve of it. I'm going to stand up for my right.
Jim Knight with WALB Television News. We're soliciting the views of Albany people on the Civil Rights Bill. Would you like to give us your views?
Well, of course, being a Southerner, I'm not for it at all.
What I'd have to say would be fit to go on air. I don't like it. I think it's trying to put something on us that we don't want.
I see.
We ought to have a national election on it rather than just letting 9 men tell us what we got to do.
I sure don't like it, that's for sure.
Do you feel this will have any effect on your life directly?
I imagine it will.
Thank you very much.
Right, we might have to get next door to it.
Now, I'm going to run that one more time.
Ridiculous thing that has ever happened. And just as free as we are. They have the same opportunity to work and to build their part of the town up just the same as we have. I just don't understand it and don't approve of it. I'm going to stand up for my right.
Jim Knight with WALB Television News. We're soliciting the views of Albany people on the Civil Rights Bill. Would you like to give us your views?
Well, of course, being a Southerner, I'm not for it at all.
What I'd have to say would be fit to go on air. I don't like it. I think it's trying to put something on us that we don't want.
I see.
We ought to have a national election on it rather than just letting 9 men tell us what we got to do.
I sure don't like it, that's for sure.
Do you feel this will have any effect on your life directly?
I imagine it will.
Thank you very much.
Right, we might have to get next door to it.
Now, this is something, and somebody said, okay, spiritual thought leader, that's way back when. When I tell you, and yesterday we touched on it, yes, I'm gonna stand up for my rights. When we touched on it on yesterday about the video, recent footage video of the white racist man that was out marching and was spewing out that the slaves were happy, the slaves were treated as part of the family. I'm talking about in 2022. That was taken back in the 60s. We're talking about in 2022. There's still a lot of this mindset. And if you heard the woman that said they have the opportunity, just like we do, to build up their side of the town like we've built up our side of the town. Well, first and foremost, we built our side of the town and your side of the town. How about that? Can we start with that truth and reality right there? We built up both sides of the town. Can we acknowledge that? So when you have this mindset that you have the same opportunity to people of color and to black minorities, you have the same rights and the same opportunities that we do. Build your side of the town and do what you do so that you can enjoy the pleasures of life that we're enjoying because of the sweat of our brow as you sat on the porch and somebody fanned you while we worked in your fields, fixed your food, and cleaned your house. Now, that energy at the end of the day, I wanted to end with that. And that's why I saved that for last, because that energy is what I want you to understand. That was somebody's grandma, somebody's grandpa, somebody's mama, somebody's sister, somebody's brother that was talking and saying what they were saying. And that energy is still here in the land today. That mindset is still here. And that's a lot of what the attempt is, to roll things back to the way it was. But at the end of the day, I do want us to be very clear that as we get to the point of understanding, 97.3%, I'm going to say it again, 97.3%. And I really want to speak to the little white sister that came out and said they can build their side of the town just like we built our side of the town. They can build their side up if they want to. When 97.3% of the money, 97.3% of the venture capital and business backing dollars still goes to white men in 2022. I want you all to be very clear on what we're talking about. I want you to be very clear on the disparity. I want you to be very clear on the numbers and the game that we keep playing mentally, emotionally. This economic disparity and this chasm that still exists so tremendously, this chasm between our two communities, when you tell me to take 1% and make my side of town and build it up and equal your 97.3% in standing, and as if there's some kind of equality that can be gained from my 1% giving me the same amount as your 97.3%, and I can actually expect to enjoy the same standard of living and the same type of lifestyle that you enjoy, again, that was built off of our backs, from our blood, sweat, and tears, and you feel like there's equity in that? No, ma'am, no, sir. No, ma'am, no, sir. And these are the types of statistics and real numbers that I want you all to be armed with. And I say armed because, listen, it's going to be the struggle and the battle that we have. It's not out here in the streets with AR-15s and all of these. No, the battle that we have is around the disparity of our economic base. And that's really what the whole fight is all about. There is not a desire to break that 97.3 stronghold clutch that they have on that money. There's no desire. There's no desire on the powers that be to loose that money. But at the end of the day, show me the money. And we're not talking about handouts. Give us the equal opportunity. Give us some of that venture capital. Give us some of that 97.3% that's still going to white men only. Give us a little taste of that, and baby, we can make something out of nothing. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And I said what I said because this is Yes You O Cube, one-on-one, just me and you. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because I tells it like it T-I-Z-T-is.
Oh, I feel for my brother.
Well, I feel for my brother and I feel for my sister. This has been another edition of Yes You O Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I appreciate you for coming in the Lion's Den, because listen, we roar over here. Ain't no Baa black sheep have you any wool. Yes sir, 3 bags full. Ain't none of that over here. This pride, P-R-I-D-E, this pride of Lions is relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. Now listen, beloveds, I appreciate everybody that came in the Lion's Den today. Hold on to your horses, because we get ready to go over there and the Rebel Inc. We gonna have some anti-morning bangos. We gonna have a good time with the cracks. So hold on and please ride the raid train with us, because listen, we're going over the Rebels and she's gonna bless you. You can follow me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, Discord, Anchor, and more. I'm out there, y'all. And you know, like I said, we don't have a spirit of intimidation. We don't have a spirit of fear. We have power, love, and a sound mind. And as long as we're operating in love, I am all powerful in love. Now come on here. We're not just talking about change. I want you to be the change. If the change is going to come, it's up to us to do it. Because at the end of the day, it's us, you, me, we all, and we're all in this thing together. I love y'all so much. I really, really do. Now listen, this is not the den of iniquity. This is the den of activity. And we've had so much Lion support today. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the Roaring Biddies, Kim Possible 711, MCP 812, Double Spirit 08, Wins 2000, and Miss P. Smitty. Thank you so much for those Roaring Biddies. To my moderators, the Rebel Inc., Michelle Browno, and Shelly Thunder. Those are my blessed trinity. Thank you for the follow. See ya 1967. So much love to you and welcome to the Lion's Den. To those that resub and subscribe today, the Rebel Inc., Miss Fio 7, Go Ratty, Sandra Rap 71, Simply Amazing, and KB Browns. That's my brother. I love you. And for that awesome raid by One Reason and the Gospel Takeover, and everybody that rode that train over here to the Lion's Den, I want you to know I appreciate you. You didn't have to do it, but you did. Now listen, copy that raid message, y'all. Copy that raid message, because we're going to go on over there and we're going to see the Rebel Inc. with some anti-morning bangos and the cracks. And you know what? I'll be back tomorrow. Hey, Lynette, I see you, Queen. Come on in here. I'll be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. I love you. Peace for your journey.